This cheeseburger is made entirely out of clay, and here's how I did it. First, I started by making the bun out of some Super Sculpey Ultralight, making sure it's nice and smooth and then making the edges rough. Then I added some indents. And then for the bottom bun, I did the same thing, just flat, and then textured it too. Once everything was baked, I airbrushed it this nice toasty brown color. I made sure the coverage wasn't even so that it really sold that toastiness. It focused it on the bottom and top of the bun. Once we have our burger bun complete, it's time to make the meat patty. Using some aluminum foil, I covered this in ultralight as well and then textured it to look like beef. I used ribbon tools, brushes, and even a ball of aluminum foil to get this texture. Now for the toppings. To create onion slices, I rolled out some translucent cosclay and then punched out the shapes with a round cookie cutter. And of course we need crinkle cut pickles and tomatoes. Once the beef patty has been baked, I'm painting it dark brown and dabbing off the excess with a paper towel to create some variance in color. To make the patty look hot and juicy, I'm finishing it off with a high gloss varnish. Once the rest of the toppings are baked, I'm airbrushing them and painting on details with a paintbrush. For the tomatoes, I'm starting with yellow in the center and then filling everything else in with red. Then I'm filling the cavities in the tomatoes with some UV resin. And there we have it, tomatoes. Now I'm just adding some UV resin to the burger here and there to make it extra juicy looking. For the cheese, I mixed some orange and yellow clay together to get this perfect slice of American cheese. To make it look melted, I'm forming it to the bun and then adding some bacon bond mixed with my clay all around the edges of the cheese to really sell the melted look. That looks pretty good. Now onto the lettuce. I'm half blending some green chalk pastel into translucent cosclay so that it creates an uneven color. And then I'm taking it piece by piece and shaping out my lettuce leaves. I want these to look as random and haphazard as possible. After perfectly positioning my lettuce, it's time to add the sesame seeds one at a time with some super glue. Yes, these are real sesame seeds. I was not about to sculpt these. Once the cheese has been baked onto the burger, I'm brushing it with some high gloss varnish to make it look nice and gooey. I love how this cheese turned out. Now I'm dry brushing a little bit of watered down glossy varnish on the lettuce to make it look like it's fresh out of the fridge. And I'm going to paint the edges of my onion rings with some watered down purple. Once everything is done and painted, I'm going to assemble everything using some E6000 industrial adhesive. And the last step is ketchup and mustard. Check out that ketchup color match. I mixed it with some clear silicone and applied it with a tiny little piping bag here and there. And I used the same process for the mustard. And just like that, we got a photorealistic cheeseburger. Let me know what you think. The full in-depth tutorial is on my YouTube channel.